looked up at her. She was staring directly at me. Her eyes were cold. It was like a predator looking at its prey. I was confused as to what she was looking at, so I asked her if she liked what she saw. And if I thought she was mad before, ooh, she was heated now. Oh, you thought that was funny? Oh, alright, okay, cool. First you come in late. Now this is the third time this class I've had to speak to you individually. All you do is disrupt the class and I'm tired of it. Instead of disrupting the class of all people, you should be listening and trying to get them poor ass grades up. At this point, I just look at her. Honestly, I don't got nothing to say. How about we read your test grades to the whole class? She took out her grade book and proceeded to expose me in front of the whole class. Let's see. Ooh, these ain't looking too hot. 55, 62, 48. Oh look, a 75. You passed for once. Must have cheated on that one, huh? The thing that was funny is I probably did cheat on that one. Yeah, yo, what's good with y'all bum niggas? Oh, and yeah, I gotta start bleeping out some of them curses because apparently my videos are not suitable for advertisers due to all the cursing. I gotta chill out on that. But anyways, I just wanted to say thank y'all for 10K on YouTube. Clap it up, clap it up. Word, bro, you're not even gonna clap for my accomplishments? Alright, bro, whatever. We could just gonna act like he was clapping. But now, on a serious note, I appreciate every single one of y'all that subscribed. It's still crazy to me. Like, I can't imagine a room full of 10,000 people watching one of my videos. And if you was one of them niggas that's watching and is not subscribed, word to, I'ma punch you in your f***ing Adam's apple. Subscribe now, nigga. But enough of the bullshit. Y'all niggas been enjoying y'all summer? Shit, I'm enjoying my summer. I'm finally out of college, nigga. I don't miss school. Ever since high school, I realized that this school shit is scam and it just ain't worth it. But I still decided to go ahead and go to college and get myself in debt. Idiot. But like I said, it was high school where I realized that this shit was not for me. I went to 2 different high schools. I took my senior year at Pearland High School in Texas, but my first 3 years I was in high school in New York City. I went to high school for math, science, and engineering, or HSMSE for short. Now this wasn't a regular school. This is a top 50 high school in the country. Yeah, I know. You wouldn't expect my dumb ass to be going to that school, right? Yeah, I'm low-key smart. I know I don't sound like it. But anyway, I had to test to get into school. It was a top school, so of course it was academically vigorous. We had tons of homework daily, 2-hour classes, and the shit was 2 hours away from my crib. Just to get a quick idea of the school, that shit ain't have not one fight in the whole history of the school. But to be honest, the craziest thing was probably that in my grade, there was only one other black boy. My son Christopher with 2 F's. That's still my bro to this day, but I don't know what was going on with his parents. She must have been off the Yerkes and the Deuce when she gave birth to this nigga. Cause 2 F's is crazy, I ain't gonna lie. Yo, he's gonna see this and be dumb tight. Alright, my fault. I'm trying. Let me get back to the point. It's safe to say that this high school was very different from my middle school. It was a huge adjustment. My middle school was in the projects. Everybody was black. It was totally different. So going from that to a top 50 school in the country, obviously there's gonna be some hiccups. And by hiccups, I mean I went to summer school every single year. It was crazy though, because I went from being the smartest kid in the school to being the dumb kid. And then when I moved to Texas, I went right back to being the smart kid. Kind of cool though, because I know what it's like to be both. But anyways, this high school had some special teachers, let's just say that. You had my German teacher for all 3 years. We gonna call her Miss Macadamia because she was always on my nuts, get it? Her class was really f***ing boring. And she had a thick accent, so I couldn't tell whether she was talking in English half the time or if she was talking in German. So most of the time I was just not paying attention in her class. I was always showing up late, always cutting class, and so she hated me. Never mind the fact that I was really bad at German. I'm really bad at languages. Shit, I could barely speak English right. Do you hear the way that I talk? Oh, and Miss Macadamia, she also hated me because I like to wear do-rags. I had waves at the time and my shit was spinning, but she ain't really like it. She thought it was gang related or some shit. So every time I would walk into the class with one on, she would try to make me take that shit off. But I wasn't really going for that shit. Literally every class, you could expect me and her to get into it at some point over the do-rag. And then she threatened to call Dean Zara on me, and maybe that would get me to take it off. Most of the time it wouldn't. I really didn't give a fuck. Most of the time, the dean wouldn't even do anything anyways. But there's this one time I got her so mad, and it wasn't even on purpose. So let me tell you the story. So one day I walk into class late as usual, and she tells me to go sit down, stop disrupting the class. Why am I late? To be early is to be on time, and to be on time is to be late, or whatever they usually say. Probably said some bullshit like better late than never. Sat my down, and I had a hoodie on this day too. So she told me to take the hoodie off. I took it off, and she went back to teaching. But then she realized I had a do-rag on under the hoodie. Jack, no, take off that do-rag. I'm tired of this shit. Yo, why you always on my like, you can't ever let me rock for one class? Why am I on your what? Take it off. Fucking sucker. What? No, get out my class. Get out now. All right. Chill. I got you. I'm gonna take it off. So I took my do-rag off, and then she's looking at me, and I'm expecting her to turn around. But then the class just starts dying of laughter, and her face got so red. She was heated, but I didn't even know why. So at the time I was wolfing, and if you don't know what wolfing is, basically if you have waves, wolfing is when you let your hair grow out just so that way your waves could get better. So you might not cut down your hair for like 2 months, but when you're wolfing, it's common to wear 2 do-rags just to keep your hair laid down as tight as possible. And so I had 2 do-rags on, but I didn't remember that I had 2 do-rags on. So she probably thought that I was trying to play her or make the class laugh or do a little practical joke or whatever, but I really wasn't. But she got so mad, sent me straight to the dean's office. Didn't even call him, sent me to his office. When I was in there, he just looked at me and was just like, come on, man, and just let me go. He really didn't care. I mean, I'm guessing he didn't take her serious. I mean, I didn't take her serious, but there was a teacher that I did take serious. Miss Helltime. Now, Miss Helltime, she was my English teacher for my first 2 years. And like I said, I suck at language classes. But I mean, my teachers did always tell me I had a colorful vocabulary though. But anyways, out of the 2 years I had her class, my freshman year was the worst. I mean, nobody liked her class. Her breath always smelled like coffee. And I knew this because she was always having a chat with me about my conduct right in my face. And I don't know if she had anger issues, if she was just overly emotional, bipolar, I don't know what it was, but she seemed to enjoy ending kids' lives. She greased kids on a regular basis. I don't know if she enjoyed watching us suffer or what, but I remember this one time, there was this girl named Alexis. So there was about 1 minute remaining before the end of class, and Alexis decided to start packing her bags. She begins to put her books away, but then Miss Helltime just stares at her with evil intentions. Then she asks her, why are you packing up? Now at this point, you would usually expect the teacher to say some shit along the lines of, the bell doesn't dismiss you, I dismiss you, some bullshit. But no, nigga, she snapped. Started going off, talking about some disrespect. I didn't see no disrespectful actions. Alexis was looking at her like she was crazy, and she probably wasn't taking her serious. I mean, I wasn't taking her serious, but then she made her unpack all her books. And not even just the books we had for that class. Every single item in her backpack had to be on the table. So she finally got everything out her bag, and then the bell rang, and then everybody's about to get up, thinking that we about to go to our next class. No, nigga, she makes everybody stay right in their seats until Alexis is done packing all her shit back in her bag. So the whole class is just sitting there watching her pack her shit before we can go. That shit was probably embarrassing as I don't know why she did that. But out of all the people she embarrassed that year, I got it the worst. Now, Miss Heseltine hated people being late. If you were late, you had to wait outside the classroom until she came out there to talk to you individually. And I had her class first period. Like I said, I lived 2 hours away, so I had to wake up at 5:30 just to get to her class on time. This one day I woke up at 6:15, so I already knew I was gonna be late. I booked it to school. I mean, I rushed. I couldn't even find my pick because I had to go so fast, so I didn't even get to pick out my afro. My shit was looking nappy, but it was alright. I just threw on a hoodie and tried to get to class on time. I ended up getting to class 15 minutes late. She made me wait outside the classroom, but then she finally came outside and she was already mad. Why are you late? You're always late. I mean, I'm sorry. I live really far, and I actually kind of woke up kind of late today. I'm not trying to hear that. Do you see all these other kids who were in class on time? Why is it always you that has to be late? Do you have your homework? You see, about that, can't say I'm surprised. Go sit down. So I go sit down, and then she resumes the class. We was reading the Scarlet Letter at the time, but then out of nowhere, she looks up at me. Then she tells me to take my hoodie off. I take it off for a quick second, but then I remember that my shit is nappy naps. So as soon as she turns around, I throw that right back on my head. She begins reading again, but then I start daydreaming. I didn't really care too much about the Scarlet Letter. All that I really remember about the book is that somebody was somebody who they wasn't supposed to be and so she had to wear a Scarlet Letter. But as I'm staring off into space, drooling, she suddenly stops reading. I was a little bit confused as to why she went silent, but then somebody tapped me and I looked up at her. She was staring directly at me. Her eyes were cold. It was like a predator looking at its prey. I was confused as to what she was looking at, so I asked her if she liked what she saw. If I thought she was mad before, ooh, she was heated now. Oh, you thought that was funny? Oh, alright, okay, cool. First you come in late, now this is the 3rd time this class I've had to speak to you individually. All you do is disrupt the class and I'm tired of it. Instead of disrupting the class of all people, you should be listening and trying to get them poor ass grades up. At this point, I just look at her. Honestly, I don't got nothing to say. How about we read your test grades to the whole class? She took out her grade book, proceeded to expose me in front of the whole class. Let's see. Ooh, these ain't looking too hot. 55, 62, 48. Oh look, a 75. You passed for once. Must have cheated on that one, huh? You know what's funny is I probably did cheat on that one. The entire class though was staring at me, silent. The whole point of me wearing a hoodie was to keep attention away from the nappiness. But now she violated and everybody was looking at it. Now I was embarrassed twice, both about my cut and the brutal roast. Then she just went right back to reading the Scarlet Letter. Spent the rest of the period sad, bro. And then the bell rang. She asked me to stay after class, but I just kept it pushing and went to my next period. Crazy thing is, that's not even the worst story I got with her. I remember this one time she gave me a 0 on my final, failing me and sending me to summer school. But that's a story for another time. Anyways though, lesson number 15. To be early is to be on time, and to be on time is to be late. And lesson number 16, better late than never, nigga. Now usually this is where the outro go, but I'm tired of talking to y'all niggas. Y'all niggas ugly. I'm out of here.